Tonight, a Whyalla person tests negative for coronavirus. However, the impact of the pandemic hits our region. And stray cats causing issues in the Clare Valley.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. As we go to air tonight, there are no known cases of coronavirus in our region. However, it's beginning to have an impact on our local communities. Community events are being rapidly cancelled, while the upcoming Unearth Festival in Whyalla has axed its main events. The region's sporting leagues are working through the implications. However, a number have already postponed competitions for the foreseeable future. The economic impact is expected to cost billions of dollars. We begin our special coverage in Whyalla, where an RAA employee suspected of having the virus has returned a negative test result. The office reopened today after closing last Friday as a precaution.
A town put at ease for now. A negative result for a suspected Whyalla coronavirus case, which would have been the first in our region. It follows a previous scare in Whyalla when a man on board a Chinese vessel was taken off the boat to be tested at the Whyalla hospital. RAA has currently banned all work-related international travel for its more than 1,000 employees, with those who have booked travel to self-isolate for 14 days before returning to work. Council also taking the government's ban seriously, cancelling this year's main Unearth Festival event in the Adirine Gardens and the popular colour run, which usually sees crowds in the thousands.
The number one priority is trying to slow the spread of the virus.
I think the message to the public is just to remain calm, to take the advice of the officials from the federal government in regards to health, and follow their instructions.
Officials reminding locals it is a time to look out for each other during this pandemic.
The real priority is ensuring some of the most vulnerable people in our society are protected. So we need to put health first, and we need to be guided by the best available scientific and medical information.
SA Health advises washing your hands regularly and covering your coughs and sneezes with a tissue. Anyone who has travelled overseas in the past 14 days and has symptoms must seek testing and self-isolate. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Cancellations are coming in thick and fast as the federal government's mass gathering recommendations force organisers to postpone plans. From schools to sports, there's now a long list of events in our region that will no longer go ahead.
There's been no confirmed cases or anyone being tested. However, Port Augusta is still taking precautions when it comes to cancelling or limiting events. Green Power Festival made the call to postpone just a fortnight out from opening.
So we thought we'd get on the front foot, and this was prior to the government's announcement of cutting back on gatherings over 500. So we'd already made the decision at that point that we were going to look at rescheduling. Organisers say it
wasn't a decision made lightly. They've also yet to find a date to reschedule.
Oh look, it was a really hard decision. A lot of work's gone in for the last 18 months. To get the festival where it is now. So it was a big decision, but I think it was a right decision.
The annual Law Affair also heeding government advice, announcing it won't go ahead this year. It's not only festivals forced into change, local schools have taken on new measures too. Stirling North Primary cancelling their assembly today.
Having 370 students plus all our staff and plus all our parents, it is minimising the contact and risk.
Excursions will also be cancelled, the school advising anyone feeling unwell to stay home.
Fully supportive of what the Australian government are doing here, and that's making sure that we're reducing the risk of spread. Unfortunately, I think it is going to happen, but how much of an impact is determined on how well we isolate ourselves now.
Local sports are also impacted. Port Augusta Basketball have cancelled their Junior League finals. Seniors will still go ahead tonight, however the stands will be looking empty, with a 2-spectator restriction per player now in place. In football, the Spencer Gulf League is pushing ahead to start next month. However, a meeting will be held at the end of the week discussing possible changes. Whyalla Football is also set to meet to decide on their response to the issue. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
And the Eyre Peninsula's tourism sector has been left crippled following escalating fears. Several major events have been cancelled or postponed, with millions of dollars in revenue now at risk of disappearing.
4 of Eyre Peninsula's biggest tourist drawcards, all cancelled in a day of unprecedented moves.
Economically, this is not good for the city of Port Lincoln.
Organisers of Tikal Auto Sprint, Salt Festival and Street Art Festival Calatumbi have all scrapped its events amid growing fears of the coronavirus outbreak.
We needed to make the decision earlier than later.
The domino effect of cancellations follows the government's announcement events of more than 500 people will be banned in a bid to curb the deadly virus from spreading.
It's the responsible approach to the situation that we find ourselves in as a nation, and the Eyre Peninsula and Port Lincoln will conform with whatever is required.
The Calatumbi Festival, which was set to be held next weekend, attracts more than 2,000 people to the region. But in a small town where a third of the population is over 65 years old and labelled at a high risk of catching the disease, organisers say they had no choice but to postpone the event.
It was the only sensible decision to make.
Organisers say they're unsure how much they could be left out of pocket, but predict it could reach in the tens of thousands. Refunds on purchased tickets are expected.
We are a town that's very dependent on our tourism economy. 200 businesses directly involved in tourism activities, 600 people employed and more directly in Port Lincoln.
To add insult to injury, Port Lincoln's cruise ship season has also been cancelled.
It will have a devastating impact.
The local government urging holidaymakers to still visit the area and support local businesses.
The city is still here. It's still a very, very good place to be, and if you are coming across, then do so.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A national helpline has been set up to help triage people with respiratory symptoms and to assist those who are concerned about contact with a possible case. If you're one of those 2 cases, ring 1-800-020-080. Further information is also available at the SA Health, New South Wales Health and Federal Health Department websites. Links to those can be found on our Facebook page. And there's been reports of online scams amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Police issuing the warning following reports of false advertising over coronavirus-related remedies and fraudulent fundraising activities. Links and attachments are being delivered to email accounts claiming to be from legitimate health organisations. Residents are being urged to think before they click on any suspicious links. Still to come tonight, we have the rest of the day's other news, including all the action from the St Pat's races, and stray cats causing concerns in Clare. Welcome back. Despite some blustery conditions, crowds flocked to the Broken Hill Racecourse for the 55th annual St Pat's races. Ongoing coronavirus fears didn't deter thousands from coming through the gates.
From the racing fields to fashions of the field, it's still one of Broken Hill's biggest days.
Happy St Pat's!
The new Hub Bar area, a winner for the general admission racegoers.
It's a quick and easy access, mate, to drinks.
Bloody awesome, an absolute riot today.
I had a couple of Pims earlier, they're quite nice. Then might settle in for a couple of CCs later on.
From the Radford Pavilion to the betting ring, punters were enjoying the festivities. The trackside marquees were a standout. Live music between the races had the crowd grooving. As always, the fashions were eye-catching. Mahalia Denton was Miss Teen, sporting a vibrant pink outfit. Yvette Pomeroy was Colleen of the course for the 2nd straight year.
My outfit's very summery, but I'm just going to go with it and let's see what happens.
The final of Paddy of the course was scandalous. One entry trying his best to wow the judges. St Pat's first-timer Jeff Ross eventually won it in an outfit he didn't even pick.
I owe everything to my wife on this one.
On the track, the day's main race, the Outback Cup, was won by the David Jolly-trained Fulton Street. Swan Hill trainer Nathan Hobson had 5 winners across the event, and the highly anticipated Leprechaun race was taken out by Tom McRae. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
5 drug drivers have been allegedly caught on Eyre Peninsula's roads in what's been a busy week for police. 3 motorists, a 39-year-old, a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old, were all allegedly caught on Saturday driving with illicit substances in their system. 2 motorists last Wednesday and Friday also allegedly testing positive. All 5 have been sent for forensic testing. Woolworths have launched a dedicated shopping hour between 7 and 8 a.m. for elderly and people living with a disability throughout the coronavirus pandemic. The initiative will work to give vulnerable people the opportunity to purchase their goods before stock run out. Staff say the dedicated hour will run until at least Friday. Mid-North vets are urging pet owners to get their kittens desexed amid a high number of stray cats across the region. Port Pirie Council also working to combat the issue by hiring out traps to residents.
They may be cuddly and cute, but this vet is fed up with stray felines causing community havoc.
Lots of stray kittens and feral cats around the community. They're damaging wildlife, they're spreading disease, and there are a lot of concern for people.
Vets here have euthanised over 200 cats in 2 years at this clinic alone. It causes emotional stress for staff who try their hardest to adopt out the pets instead.
It's draining on all our staff. It takes, especially a lot of the time, it's little kittens that we're dealing with. A lot of them are very sick.
Port Pirie Council also working to combat this issue in the town, urging cat owners to play by the rules.
Particularly under the state legislation requirement for all cats to be microchipped and desexed after 6 months of age.
Those concerned about stray cats around their homes are being urged to do their bit.
Loan out those traps, and we do that on a regular basis to try and limit the number of particularly feral cats in our community.
Contact your local council, they might have some ideas and policies in place to help you.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us, we return to the coronavirus crisis as Broken Hill sporting competitions begin weighing their options up. That's coming up next. A number of Broken Hill sports have been forced to make some tough decisions as coronavirus concerns continue to grow. Today, the local Netball Association made an announcement about its season. Patrick Reinke has the details.
With the Australian government's ban on gatherings of more than 500 people coming into effect today, local sporting groups have faced tough decisions. Today, the local Netball Association announced that its next 2 rounds will be cancelled, with all results marked as draws. The committee saying in a statement that a healthy community is their priority and will continue to follow any advice given by Netball Australia and the federal government. The hiatus comes less than 24 hours after the Broken Hill Basketball Association cancelled its season with only a couple of rounds left to play. Regular domestic competition and social matches as well as trainings will no longer take place. 6 weeks out from the kick-off of round 1, local soccer is reviewing the coronavirus situation week by week. Officials say they're taking a cautious approach. AFL Broken Hill will meet this week to discuss the upcoming season and Lightning Cup knockout tournament. 7 Spencer Gulf News understands the local league has been contacted by the AFL inquiring about crowd numbers on match days. The show will go on for Broken Hill Harness Racing though. The local club saying it's fine to race and is currently talking with Harness Racing New South Wales about fans attending meetings. We'll have more information about COVID-19 and its effect on local sport as it develops.
Despite bushfires, droughts and the coronavirus outbreak, South Australian farmer confidence is at a high, with a Rabobank survey showing they remain positive. Laura Milovanovic has more.
The spike in confidence is at a 9-year high and comes with much welcomed summer rainfall across South Australia this season. The quarterly survey revealing almost 50% of farmers surveyed say they expect conditions to improve over the next year. Grain growers are hailing the significant amount of rain as helping lift the industry's optimism.
So some guys had almost as much in that one hit as what they did last year. So, yeah, definitely moisture in the profile.
And they're hoping to see more rain coming into the winter months.
If we could get a follow-up rain before April and get some moisture in the profile, I'd say that'll definitely boost the confidence for the coming season.
For the first time, farmers were asked about climate change, with 75% expecting it to affect their business. The Rabobank regional manager said it was encouraging to see 1/3 of farmers were already making adjustments for climate change, but believes SA is already on the front foot when it came to best practice.
Clare Valley residents now have access to safely dispose of their batteries and mobile phones, with special bins placed in the main street. The Lions Club say their initiative is helping to create a more sustainable future.
Saving the planet one battery at a time, this recycling program is one of the latest to hit Clare Valley's streets.
So surprising that so many people did want to recycle but just weren't sure how to do it.
The Lions Club taking it upon themselves to give locals this option to do their bit for the environment.
Once the bins are half full or 2/3, I come along, empty them into buckets and I take them to the transfer station.
Shop managers welcoming the initiative, saying many residents have already been getting on board.
We decided to put a battery recycling bin here in Clare because it goes with our ethos of providing recycled goods. It's very, very heavy, very quickly.
The bins are located around the town. A Lions Club brochure has also assisted locals to know what should be recycled.
Has tripled or quadrupled in probably the last 12 months since we've had this brochure out.
Those interested in getting involved can find more information online. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. We review the weekend's cricket action. And Rachel will have the latest weather details. Hello again. Hundreds of racing enthusiasts from across the state hit the Whyalla Speed Track over the weekend for the 410 Sprint Car state titles. This year's winner was Queenslander Lockie McHugh, who represented the home track in the Whyalla Earthworks racing car.
That was a really cool thing for the town, being a locally owned team, and it was good to have Lockie win an SA title.
Teams travelled from Adelaide, Murray Bridge and even the Northern Territory to participate. It's the last race meet for the foreseeable future, with next week's event cancelled due to coronavirus. Turning to cricket now, and Whyalla held its grand final over the weekend, with Centrals taking out the premiership once again. Proving too strong for North Whyalla, the team continue its dominance in local cricket. Sophia Contagonis has this week's cricket wrap.
The sun was shining here at Schultz Reserve on Saturday and crowds piled in to watch this nail-biting grand final. Centrals batted first and were in trouble early, with Ackland and Dunbar falling cheaply. However, the ever-reliable Scott Collison came to the rescue, hitting a much-needed 49, while Brad Smith also helped steady the ship. Some late hitting from Daniel Collison got them to a competitive total of 158. Quist and Dorr both finished with 2 wickets apiece. North got off to a shaky start as wickets fell regularly. Daniel Collison destroyed the top order, supported by Bartel at the other end. Woolford and Smith cleaned through the tail. Atkinson battled well for 20 runs, however he lost partners far too regularly. Central winning the premiership, continuing their 2-decade dominance of the league. Over to Port Lincoln, and Tasman defeated Charlton by 100 runs. Batting first to fighting 71 from Andrew Frick helped them to the win. They'll now face Southern Air in next week's grand final. And finally to Port Pirie, and Wandera took out the win against Solly North. Wandera batted first, making a competitive 143, with Jack Dickerson the man of the match with a top score of 68. Wandera will go head-to-head against Port Germain for the premiership this Saturday. So congratulations to Central Whyalla for their Premiership Cup win. I'll be back tomorrow night with the sports results from around the region.
And with a look at the weather, here's Rachel.
Good evening, everyone. It was a fine and sunny start to the working week. Port Lincoln reached 26 degrees, Whyalla 29, Port Augusta and Port Pirie both 31, Broken Hill 28 degrees and it reached 28 in Adelaide. To the satellite now, and there's some patchy cloud in southeast South Australia producing the odd shower. Skies in our region mostly clear due to a broad high pressure system. Looking at the waters for tomorrow, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas at a metre, and sunrise is just after 7:15 with sunset at 7:30. Sunny tomorrow with temperatures in the low to mid-30s across most parts. Port Augusta is set to reach 34 degrees, Whyalla and Port Lincoln 33, Coffin Bay 32, Woodner 36, Corn sunny and 34, Broken Hill 30, Port Pirie and Cleve both reaching 34 degrees, Clare 31, Kadina 33 and Adelaide will be partly cloudy and 31 degrees. Looking ahead to the next 4 days, mostly fine conditions for Port Lincoln, 33 Wednesday, 26 Thursday, dropping back to 23 by Friday. A return to summer for Cleve on Wednesday, reaching a warm 37, 30 Thursday, 23 Friday, and a scorching 39 predicted for Woodner Wednesday, 29 Thursday, and partly cloudy and 25 Friday. Whyalla will be sunny and 35 Wednesday, 34 Thursday, partly cloudy and 23 Friday. Warm and 37 in Port Augusta Wednesday and Thursday, dropping back to 25 on Friday. And in Kadina, 35 Wednesday, 29 Thursday, reaching 23 degrees on Friday. Port Pirie will be sunny and 35 Wednesday, partly cloudy and 33 Thursday, 24 Friday. 34 and sunny in Clare on Wednesday, 30 on Thursday, 22 and partly cloudy on Friday. And it'll be sunny in Broken Hill until the end of the week, 32 Wednesday, 35 Thursday, 29 Friday. And that's all for tonight's weather. John, it's back to you.
Thanks, Rachel, and that's the local news this Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. On behalf of the team, it's good night.